Think your workout ends when you stop moving? Not even close. Recovery is where the real gains happen. Hydration, nutrition, cool downs, stretching, sleep, massage, compression. Recovery restores the body and mind after training so athletes can perform again and get stronger. Training creates stress and small damage. Recovery lets repair happen. Energy stores refill and adaptation, supercompensation occur. Without enough recovery, fatigue builds up, performance falls, injury risk rises, and training gains are lost. Think of recovery as recharging a battery. Each session drains resources, planned recovery restores them. In elite sport, good recovery habits often separate success from injury. Hello and welcome. This is the final piece of high-level content to cover and the final video to conclude topic A, exercise physiology and nutrition of the human body. This video covers recovery in sport. Today you'll get a detailed narration covering physiology mechanisms of recovery, including nutrition, hydration and sleep. We'll then examine active recovery modalities such as massage, cold water immersion, compression and periodization of recovery. We'll wrap up the content with a sport-specific interactive scenario and include some IB exam-style questions for you to have a go at. Don't forget to take a look at the Sport Science Assessment resources and IA ideas on the Teachers Test website, which are being built up week to week. They're ideal for formative assessment in lessons or for learners to use as revision tools. I'll leave a link to my test shop in the description below for you. With that being said, pause the video for the interactive content towards the end and use the timestamps in the description to jump to different sections. Now, let's get stuck into the content. The objectives you should achieve by the end of this video include being able to distinguish between short, mid and long-term recovery, suggest the need to plan for recovery from exercise, training and competition, describe ways of measuring and monitoring recovery, distinguish between active and passive recovery, explain why hydration is important for recovery, outline nutrition to enhance recovery, including creatine and polyphenols, discuss some other modes of recovery such as massage, compression garments, thermal applications, or cryotherapy, explain why sleep is important for recovery, distinguish between travel fatigue and jet lag, and lastly, outline how to recover from mental fatigue. An awful lot of criteria content to get through with strategies for exercise recovery and the final element of topic A, but we're almost there. Here we go. With recovery, we aim to restore several key systems so the athlete can perform and adapt. Energy systems, refill muscle glycogen and phosphocreatine. Glycogen needs carbohydrate and hours to rebuild. PCR comes back quickly during easy, oxygen-rich recovery. Muscle protein balance, switch from net breakdown to net synthesis. Post-exercise protein plus the training signal activates hormones and pathways that repair and grow muscle. Neuromuscular function, restore voluntary drive and muscle contraction processes. Good sleep and activities that boost parasympathetic tone help return nervous system readiness, inflammation and tissue repair. A controlled inflammatory response clears damaged tissue and starts rebuilding. The goal is to manage excessive or prolonged inflammation, support repair without completely blocking the adaptive signal. Fluid and electrolytes, replace lost fluid and sodium/potassium to restore plasma volume, circulation, and nerve muscle function. And finally, thermoregulation and cardiovascular balance. Cool core temperature, normalize heart rate and blood pressure, and restore circulatory stability after hard or hot sessions. Right after exercise, the body is primed to recover. Eat carbohydrate plus protein within about 30 to 60 minutes to speed muscle glycogen refilling and start muscle protein synthesis. A practical target is roughly 0.4 to 0.6 grams per kilogram of body weight of carbohydrate and 0.25 to 0.4 grams per kilogram of protein, about 20 to 40 grams of protein, immediately after exercising. Across the day, meet total energy needs so you don't enter low energy availability. Aim for about 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight per day of protein for strength or hypertrophy goals, or at least 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight per day for endurance. Distribute protein across 3 to 4 meals throughout the day. Carbohydrate needs depend on training load, but roughly 5 to 12 grams per kilogram of body weight per day
For quick glycogen recovery, after a single session, use about 1 to 1.2 grams per kilogram of body weight per hour during the first 4 hours when rapid repletion is needed. During long sessions or multi-hour events, take carbohydrate regularly, about 30 to 60 grams per hour to maintain blood sugar and spare glycogen. To rehydrate, way before and after exercise, each 1 kilogram lost S1 litre of fluid, replace about 1.5 litres per kilogram of body weight lost and include sodium. Sports drinks with sodium, roughly 20 to 50 millimoles per litre, help retain fluid and prevent hyponatremia when large volumes are consumed. Key micronutrients such as iron for oxygen transport, vitamin D for muscle and bone, and zinc and vitamin C for repair should also be considered for effective recovery. Sleep is central to recovery. It restores nervous system function, balances hormones, which is important as growth hormone peaks during deep sleep. Additionally, it supports thinking and decision-making and helps the immune system. Most athletes do best with about 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Short naps of around 20 to 90 minutes can also help with recovery when you're short on sleep. Good sleep habits help. Keep a regular bedtime and wake time, make the bedroom cool and dark, avoid late caffeine, and use relaxation routines to manage pre-competition nerves. For travel and jet lag, strategies include timed light exposure, adjusting sleep schedules before travel, and using melatonin only under medical guidance. Active recovery means easy movement after hard exercise. Light activity, at about 30 to 60% of VO2 max, such as easy cycling, jogging, or swimming, raises muscle blood flow, speeds lactate removal, and helps PCR resynthesis. A typical session is 10 to 30 minutes of easy movement, starting 10 to 30 minutes after intense work to speed recovery. Passive rest conserves energy and is useful when no more sessions are planned that day. Use active recovery between repeated efforts or competitions to get ready sooner. Use passive rest when full recovery without extra fatigue is needed. Practical tips could include short active recovery between interval bouts when the session calls for it, and schedule an easy aerobic session the day after a hard workout to promote circulation, reduce soreness, and promote mental recovery. Cold water immersion, abbreviated as CWI, includes short baths in cool water about 10 to 15 degrees Celsius for around 10 to 15 minutes. This aims to lower muscle temperature, reduce swelling, and perceived soreness, as well as speed short-term recovery between repeated competitions. Cold causes blood vessel constriction, which reduces fluid buildup and has an analgesic effect. This should be used with caution, depending on your training goal, as some research suggests using cold right after strength training can blunt the anabolic signaling that drives muscle growth. Therefore, it might be worth avoiding routine post-strength CWI when hypertrophy is the goal. Use CWI mainly for quick turnaround recovery between events or heavy sessions where immediate readiness matters. Heat therapies, such as sauna and hot baths, raise circulation, help relaxation, and can support parasympathetic recovery in some cases. Heat also stimulates heat shock proteins that may have adaptive benefits. Use heat for relaxation, improving sleep, and passive recovery. But if an athlete is already heat stressed after training, cool first before applying heat. Wearing compression garments can reduce perceived soreness and improve venous return modestly. Evidence shows small benefits for feeling recovered, and some circulation markers useful for travel or when athletes value comfort, but effects on long-term adaptation are limited. Massage and soft tissue work can help reduce muscle tension, improve range of motion, and boost psychological readiness. Mechanisms include local blood flow changes and parasympathetic activation. Light massage before competition can help, however, avoid deep, aggressive work immediately before a key performance. Mental recovery helps the body recover by lowering stress and improving sleep and motivation. Use brief practices like mindfulness or guided relaxation to calm the mind or deliberately switch off with enjoyable leisure activities to allow cognitive detachment. Spending time with teammates or friends is also known to reduce anxiety and support mood. In team sports, shared recovery rituals like group relaxation, walks, or team meals build cohesion and lower pre-game nerves. Watch for chronic mental fatigue from travel, work, or study. High cognitive load raises perceived effort and reduces physical performance. So manage overall workload and schedule mental breaks, just like physical rest. Plan recovery at every time scale. In a microcycle, that is the week, follow hard sessions with easy days, focus on sleep and nutrition, and use short active recovery when needed. Over mesocycles or several weeks, include lighter weeks or planned lighter sessions, so adaptations consolidate. A common pattern is 3 weeks of increasing load, then 1 easier week, a 3-to-1 ratio, or 2 on and 1 off for higher level athletes, a 2-to-1 ratio. Before key events, it is recommended to use a taper, cut training volume by about 40 to 60% while keeping intensity up, so fitness is maintained but residual fatigue drops. Tapers usually last 7 to 21 days depending on the sport and athlete. And finally, for travel and competitions, plan sleep, meals and recovery from the start. Use immediate strategies, cold water immersion or light active recovery after events if a quick turnaround is needed, and prioritize good sleep and nutrition in the first 48 hours to speed restoration. Now we've reached the interactive section of the video. We'll take a look at a hypothetical scenario for understanding the strategies and techniques for exercise recovery. Let's get into it. In this scenario, you are the assigned strength and conditioning coach who has been approached by the performance director of an elite Premier League football club. She has raised concerns about her team facing fixture congestion, with 7 matches scheduled over 21 days during a crucial season period. The performance director has acknowledged that the team must optimise their recovery protocols as the team have recently showed declining performance indicators across multiple games and has came to you for some help. Taking into account the environmental factors and current performance impact, she wants you to produce a plan for the busy schedule. Your task is to design comprehensive recovery strategies addressing physiological, psychological and practical aspects for different player groups within the constraints of professional soccer demands. Let's take a look at the scenario specifics and the relevant data. Pause the video as it appears on screen. Construct your solutions and suggestions now. Possible solutions and suggestions for this scenario can be seen on screen. This includes the immediate post-match recovery strategies for both physiological and nutritional factors, the protocols for the 24 to 48 hour window of recovery before the next game takes place, then general strategies including therapeutic interventions, psychological strategies, individualized plans, and then future recovery monitoring and adjustment. As a result of the recovery optimization strategies, we should see stabilized muscle soreness and improved sleep quality after the first week. Maintain sprint performance in the final 30 minutes of matches after week 2, and then reduced injury incidents. Enhanced player readiness and confidence from week 3 onwards. If you came close to this with your suggestions and solutions, well done. Let's move on to some formative assessment and exam technique. In this section, we'll have a go at some quick-fire multi-choice questions based on the strategies and techniques for exercise recovery content, which may appear in Paper 1A. Pause the video here, have a go and see how you get on. Let's take a look at the mark scheme so you can self-assess. Okay, good stuff. Next, let's have a go at some data-based, short answer and extended response questions, which may appear on Paper 1B and Paper 2. For possible short answer and extended response style IB exam questions, you may be required to explain the immediate nutritional priority after a prolonged endurance exercise session or outline methods for neuromuscular recovery. You may also need to use calculations and equations outlined in the sports science data booklet where necessary. On screen, you can see some short answer questions related to the video content. Use the command term key to carefully consider the requirements of each DBQ and ERQ question and construct your answers with the appropriate level of detail. Pause the video now and give them a go. Now let's take a look at the answers and see how you perform. Take a moment to pause the video here to reflect and self-assess. That is the end of the content on understanding the strategies and techniques for exercise recovery. We can finish by thinking about the following linking questions from the course guide between what we have covered in this video, topic B. 1.3, What is the impact of fatigue on muscular contraction? Topic C, C3, what is the relationship between motivation and fatigue? And also Inquiry 1 from the course guide, do plopizos positively affect recovery? If you found the strategies and techniques for exercise recovery subtopic interesting, you may wish to pursue a scientific investigation in this area. On screen, you can see some sports science internal assessment ideas and key considerations you may wish to use to support with formulating a research question. To summarise, recovery restores energy stores, repairs muscle and neural function, resolves inflammation and re-establishes homeostasis. Optimal recovery combines evidence-based nutrition, sleep management, active recovery and targeted modalities while considering training goals and periodization. Monitor recovery using objective and subjective tools, individualize strategies and avoid interventions that blunt adaptation when adaptations are desired. Balance immediate performance needs with long-term adaptation.
Today's session wraps up everything we need to cover on topic A for exercise physiology and nutrition of the human body. I hope you found the content informative and I've somehow managed to hook you as a regular viewer. If so, or if you still haven't subscribed, now would be the perfect time to do so, as we'll be uncovering what's in store for topic B and biomechanics. I'd actually love it if I could freestyle the delivery a little bit more and add a little bit more personality, but the teacher in me won't let me stray too far from the structure and organisation of the content. I hope you can understand and you can relate to that in some way. As we progress into the next unit, we'll have a lot more applied and sporting examples to work with, as biomechanics lends itself well to the interactive nature I'm aiming for with the video content. With that being said, stay tuned for the next video as we begin topic B by looking at the axial and appendicular skeleton components and their functions. Alternatively, if you'd like a little refresher on previous content we've covered from topic A, I'd recommend looking at this episode here. Thanks once again for watching, and I'll see you over on the next one.